good team victory. Didn't like the second half offense, especially not creating third downs, making third downs, getting the ball back to them and not getting off the field.
Yeah, we needed to find a way because we kind of let them back in there with some bunch of plays that, were kind of routine plays for us. So, it's, again, like execution is when it's good, we're tough to stop. And when it's not good, they don't have to do much. And, we had some plays there that were just too easy to make, and we didn't make them. But, in the end, we made enough plays to win, which is that'll feel good tonight and tomorrow.
The offense or the team to put 4 quarters together. Do you feel like you took a step backwards in that department?
No, great to tape, but really, we had guys wide open. We just missed them.
Can you kind of describe what happened in the second half?
Yeah, we didn't. We missed wide open guys and didn't convert third down, so couldn't stay on the field. And when we ran it, we got a little bit, but we'd always 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 punt, and just go back and look at the tape, see what we were doing, what we're doing right and wrong. He don't like it that much, but get your ass on the ground.
What up, Bucs fans? And it's Real Bucs Talk. We are back on a Monday live, presented by Bucs Report and the Pigskin Podcast Network. Hope everyone's having a great Monday so far. Obviously, a victory Monday. It feels good being 10-3. But Mark, man, what a game that was yesterday. OT thriller kind of raised my blood pressure. I know it raised yours. Thankfully, I take some pills for that. But man, it was I did not expect that. And of course, of all people, Brashad Perriman gets the game winner.
BP getting your BP up, right?
Yeah.
Not 10-3. It's a victory Monday. It sounds like from those snippets that we lost, but at the end of the day, we won the game. We're 10-3, and we're looking for home field advantage throughout. Hopefully, the Rams can help us out in this department. Some people in the chat were talking about that, but we're going to go over a lot of stuff, primarily offensive inconsistencies and play calling issues, especially second half, like they were talking about. What's going on with that? Is it the defense's fault? A lot of people are blaming the defense. We're going to talk about that big time. But other than that, we're 10-3, easily tops of the division. One more, hopefully, this week is a smashing of the Saints. But right now, we beat the Bills 33-27 in overtime. BP with the BP up. Other than that, you start off the game, you think it's going to be a blowout. We're going to win, dominate. And then the second half, they do what they do. Bucs show up, beating themselves, and ultimately win the game because they're the better team, and they should have. But a lot of stuff to talk about. Offense looks great at times, then shady. Defense looks amazing at times, and then Jamel Dean, again, injured.
Yeah.
So, where do you want to start?
Yeah, let's just give an overall view of the game. Like you talked about, it was highly executed in the first half, and then in the second half, the execution definitely took a fall. And you got to give credit to Buffalo. They did a very good job of, making some minor adjustments, but really it was about what the Bucs were just not getting done, especially offensively. And then defensively, because of your offense, stalling out, got a little tired. And, Josh Allen was making a lot of plays, running around and, getting over 100 yards rushing and pretty much doing everything for Buffalo. So it was, obviously very entertaining game. And, it was a great atmosphere, playoff type of game. And then, the Bucs found ways to make the plays at the end of the game to win it. Obviously getting big stops there on defense at the end of the fourth quarter, then also in overtime. And then the Bucs offense finding ways to win the game. And what do you know? They call it mesh concept to win it, which is crazy. That's something we've been, begging for them to do more of. But they did it, and it was a great way to end that game. And like you said, now you're heading into Saints week, and it's a division title on the line, which is something very rare. The Bucs haven't talked about that since 2007. So pretty awesome to have that right in your backyard for the opportunity to take and be crowned for something.
Absolutely. I mean, can you imagine saying Buccaneers division champs? First time in a long time.
Right.
I want to say hello to the new people in the chat. Travis Backus. I think that's new. Go Bucs. Hell yeah. Alec Schomber. I'm mispronouncing. Forgive me. I'm an idiot. Love that jersey as well. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the show. Hopefully we can give you guys some good insight. And if you want to bring your 2 cents and your opinions, bring it. Like, we would love to hear it and actually think it out, kind of come to a better conclusion. But big thing, no, 0 turnovers for us. Yeah, we may have caused one, but we didn't do jack shit once we got it.
Right.
Richard Sherman before the end of the half, short field. Did we do anything with it? Nah.
Mm.
So offense started the sputters there. But I guess that's kind of the big debate of the live stream. Actually, I want to say one thing. Mike Evans, monster.
Mhm.
Keep going to him early and often. If he's doubled, okay. BP. There you go. But I mean, the dude just throw it anywhere in his vicinity. He's going to come down with the ball. Like, that touchdown was amazing. Let's talk about that first.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the first half, just going over the game, there was a lot of good things. Passing on first down, play action, stuff we talked about. But yeah, that play to Mike Evans was, I mean, as perfect as it gets. Tom Brady, pretty much 2 Hall of Famers throwing to each other, and it was just awesome to see. Mike going up there making the catch where only he can get it. The ball placement, perfect spot, right over the defender that's trying to overcut it. So it was just a fantastic play. And you look at it there, the stats, Mike Evans, 6 targets, 6 catches for 91 yards. Chris Godwin, again, having a monster game, 10 catches for 105 yards. I think he's already over 1,000 yards for the year, which is crazy. 90 something catches already. So him and Mike are going to be over 1,000 yards. So it's pretty cool to see. And obviously Tom Brady over 4,000 passing yards. I think that's the second Bucs quarterback behind, with Jameis Winston, who have 4,000 yards this early into the season, or this late, I should say, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, another big game though, 363 yards, 2 touchdowns. And we're going to talk a little bit later about inconsistencies and stuff like that. But you look at the numbers that way, you're like, what inconsistency are you talking about? I mean, even Lenny went over 100 yards. Second game of the season going over 100. One of them was almost 50 yards. So he got it in one chunk. So, I mean, the averages are there. It looked like we should have dominated an offense, but the actual game tells you a different story. It was 27-10 in the fourth quarter. We didn't do jack shit.
Yeah.
So it's upsetting.
Only 3 points. Yeah, only 3 points in the second half, which yeah, I mean, usually that can lose you games, and it almost did. So it's just little things that messed up the offense. It was not continuing to pass the ball on first down, and then also just the inconsistency of just missing. Tom Brady had some difficulty just hitting guys. He was missing uncharacteristically, guys that were open, and he was just not putting the ball where it needed to be. But I got to give a shout out to the offensive line. I thought they were outstanding. Once again, they've really been the most consistent unit on the team, and they only allowed, I think, 2 sacks, but they were dominant in the game and really were huge on that touchdown play to Brashad Perriman, picking up that crazy blitz that Leonard Fournette called it.
I mean, they've been extremely consistent this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I just saw Donovan Smith today retweet something saying he's a Pro Bowler. I mean, y'all better retweet that left and right, because he truly is one. And I think Tom Brady would say that 100 times over. He just never gets recognition, and only got the bad recognition, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But someone was asking how many more yards. Christopher Cole was asking how many more yards Mike Evans needs. He needs 115 more yards for a 1,000-yard season yet again.
Yeah, he's already over 800, so he should be able to get it.
885. I love the touchdowns. 11 already. Keep it up. I mean,
He's gonna crush his record.
Right.
Yep.
He's 2 away. Could get that the next game.
Mm.
But I mean, other than that, Mike Evans, I thought he deserved one hell of a. I mean, like, give him the ball even more. I know they keep saying he's getting doubles, he's getting the shadow over the top. Yeah, well, the second he isn't, attack him like they do with Gronk when they're 1-on-1. Do it. But I want to talk into this. I know that was a positive. Let's go to Lenny. When he gets the opportunities, it looks like he's doing well. What do you think about Fournette in the running game?
Yeah, the running game, again, in the first half, they ran it at the right times. Obviously, the touchdown run, the big 47-yard run was just properly executed. Great blocks, by Gronk, sealing it, Tristan Wirfs, Kappa, Marpet, all those guys, filling the lanes, and then Donovan Smith getting, Jordan Poyer, sending him a message and getting him out of the way. Just, road graders up front. It was really nice. And then Leonard running as fast as possible as we've seen him probably as a Buccaneer, finishing that touchdown. So yeah, just good execution with the run game. There were some good runs in the second half, but again, it's just about consistency and also calling it at the right time. And we'll talk more on that as we get going here in the show. But a lot of good things from the offense, I thought, and they did what they had to, and obviously they found a way at the end there to pull it out.
Yeah, I mean, the running game, it works when it's needed, or actually, it works at times. We just don't do it consistently when needed. That's a better way of saying it. Because, I mean, we got the ball 4 minutes left. I was like, okay, let's run the ball out, prove you're a good offense, prove you can execute when needed. Nope. Again, third down and short, and you can't get it. Punt the ball up, and they almost go down and score a touchdown to win the game. So, you know what? It was a perfect time before we even talk about the defense. Let's bring up the offense and their inconsistencies. Is it truly that's causing us to give up leads and look like shit at points? Is it the defense's fault, or is it the offense's inconsistencies? Because you look at Twitter, the crowd that is all same old shit of Buccaneers, coughing it up because there was no interceptions. There's no interceptions this game. There was no fumbles this game. They were turnover free, which is usually the product of them shooting themselves in the foot. This was just not moving the ball consistently. You scored 24 points in one half and then 3 in another. How does that happen? And so I ask you, what do you think it is? And the guys in the chat, bring it up. What do you think it is too? Plus, give me your best definition of what the hell is going on and whose fault is it that you go 24-3 in one half and then only 3 in the next? Go.
Yeah, I mean it's a combination of a lot of things. I mean, obviously this offense is very good. They've scored over 30 points in their last 4 wins. They've scored 30 points in 8 games this year, which also, ties last season. So they've done a lot of good things as far as putting up points. But yes, there's times in the game where there's certain lulls where it just can't happen. And it always goes back to execution. It goes to also play sequence and how you call it, how you're attacking a certain defense, and really not trying to do too much, not try to be too fancy, not try to get in your own way. And I think Byron Leftwich and Tom Brady at times they do that. Especially yesterday, it was a little bit more of Tom where he was just missing guys. The plays were there to be made, he was missing. But you also go to the play sequence and really forcing that run on first down, which is something that they shouldn't do. And it's something they didn't do in the first half. They did a lot of play action, a lot of passing on first down to set up second and medium, third and shorts, a lot of favorable situations where it allows you to run the football a little bit better and more successful if you're in those second and third and manageable situations. It also opens up the playbook because you're utilizing your play action. So it's a tricky road to go down because it goes into execution, but also goes in how the game is called and certain situational football too. But relating that to the defense needs help because they can't be on the field the whole second half. And when you go 3 and outs like that, it affects your defense and pass rush gets tired. And I think that's what you saw yesterday.
Yeah. So this is one part we talk about complementary football. We always mention that we talk 11 working as one, but also the whole team working as one. The Bucs tend not to do that at times, especially the offense. They don't pull their own weight considering the amount of talent and firepower that they have. You shouldn't score 0 one quarter, to be honest. It should be at least a field goal, if not a touchdown, every quarter. You have the best quarterback to ever do it. You have monsters on the outside. You have possibly the best tight end ever do it. Don't give me the shit that there's no AB, so that's why we aren't scoring.
Yeah.
I'm always going to fight that. Okay, so and that's not me being aggressive. It's just being blatant. Because there's, like BA said, there are guys wide open that were being missed. Brady isn't perfect. I know the Brady I guess, how we say, purists,
Mhm.
like it's never Brady's fault. I mean, some of these were Brady's fault. I mean, Tony Romo said in one clip that it's probably the worst throw he's ever seen by Brady because Gronk was wide the hell open and he missed him. So he's missing Gronk. Multiple occasions he did in this game. He missed Chris Godwin in the middle of the field multiple times. Some of these are on Brady. Some of them maybe we don't know. Maybe the receiver ran the wrong route, but they didn't turn into interceptions. This crap this late in the season needs to be better. And like you
Mhm.
said, complementary football, the defense is getting tired because you're going 3 and out. Oh, defense, go at it again. Go at it again. We can't do anything. We can't control the clock. We can't move the ball. Sorry, we're not even going to run the ball to try and slow them down. That's play call. And then when we execution, when we're not passing and completing the passes to guys that are wide open, this has got to get fixed. It's great to win the game. I know it's hard just to win one, but execution this late in the season has to be better, especially when you just looked fantastic in the first half. It's got to be carry over. And don't give me, oh, the other team made changes. What, we don't coach, we don't change second half. Like it's a lot of this is coaching and execution. It's not just execution.
No, I think it's on all parties. When you look at the play design and the play call, I was I was watching the game with you yesterday, and I was telling you I was like, why did we all of a sudden stop using the play action or attacking the middle of the field where
Yeah.
middle of the field was open consistently because their linebackers were trying to run with our receivers, or they were running inside to try to pressure Tom Brady. So there was opportunities there, especially in between the safeties and past the linebackers. I thought that's where we should have attacked more. It seems like they were trying to, but again, Tom was not accurate on some of those throws, and he missed quite a few. So it it goes hand in hand of how like don't stop what's working,
Yeah.
continue to maybe adjust the look, give the team a different look or use that same formation but do it in a variety of a different design where it can fool the defense and you can continue to use that type of play. So it's just little things like that where you were talking about the tight end screen, use the tight end screen more and stuff like that. It's another way to get someone in the middle of the field where it can be an easy completion for Tom. So that's something that needs to continue to progress as we move forward. But at the end of the day, I know we say all these things, and yes, the execution can always be better, but this team still scored 33 points and they found a way to win, which is the name of the game. But as you get, into playoff football, as we're heading that way, all these games are magnified. It means a lot. We're trying to get to the 2, possibly the 1 seed. Yeah, it's very important that this team continues to pick up its play and peak at the right time.
Because if you think about it, everyone sees the same tape. Everyone sees what's going on with the Bucs games, and they want to find ways to beat us. So if we take whole halves off in the playoffs, what the hell do you think is going to happen with better teams? I know the Bills are a good team. I mean, they're playoff contention.
Right. And we saw this last year in the playoffs. We saw it against Green Bay where, Tom Brady threw, 3 interceptions. Is like, the Bucs are trying to lose this game. They're giving it to Green Bay. And so, yeah, it's stuff like that where we can't have it. And, the execution, it's got to be a full 60 minutes. And, hopefully, we're continuing to get reinforcements back on defense. It was really nice to see Richard Sherman out there on the field as a safety. I thought they did some really good things with the wrinkles on that side of the ball. The pressure was really good in that first half. Shaq Barrett already up to 9 sacks, which is quite it's surprising when you look at it. It's like, man, he's had a sneaky, very good season, but when you watch the tape, he's been good all year. He's been a pressure machine and always getting in there. So that was really cool. I thought they did some different things with the safety blitzes, which was nice. Hopefully you get Jordan Whitehead back this week, which will be very big, and you'll have your, pretty much your full secondary.
And then Mike Edwards, 1 game after that?
Mike Edwards will probably be back for the Panthers game up there in Carolina.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
well, it remains to be seen. They talked about it today. They don't know what they're doing with those 2 guys yet. So,
if they're going to bring down the hammer on them too.
Right. So
It
we'll
is,
see.
it is annoying. Yeah, but it was funny to see AB practicing in his backyard. He sent me that Instagram thing.
Yeah.
But let's see what everyone else has to say about this offense and what's going on. Is it offense? Is it defense fault? Jim, help me out with a play you were talking about too. Jim Melvin said, offensively, they relax at times when they don't need to. I fully agree with that. 3rd and 2, Brady throws it to avoid a sack. Then the offense walks off the field all proud of itself because there wasn't a sack or an interception. Seems okay at the time, but a first down there might have ended the game. I'm assuming it means that last drive.
Yeah, very well could
All
be.
4 minutes left.
Yeah. I think there was a 3rd and short situation, and I want to say, yeah, that's right. Because we got I think that's when Brady got sacked, I want to say. And then we ended up punting.
Because I
So,
remember there was a offsetting penalties, and then he got sacked.
right.
Just there's a hands to the face and
Oh, okay. Generic 3rd and 2. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he's just talking about overall,
Oh,
the mindset of the offense, which
okay.
that's a good point. I mean, yeah, it's you would like to see them just continue to have that urgency. I would like to see them just play more no huddle. I think when they
Yeah.
play with tempo, they're tempo, they're really good. So just got to continue to keep that going.
Oh, well, damn it. 10-10 LA, Arizona.
That's gonna be a
Yeah.
good game. They're very
Yeah.
good teams. They're close. I think competitive. I was talking to Mark about the weakness of Arizona. I think it's their offensive line. So I think if you can find ways to get pressure on Kyler Murray, that's when you can, get him into trouble.
Yeah, and then Jalen Ramsey's out because he was on COVID.
Yeah, a lot of people got COVID today.
36 players on COVID lists due to positive tests. That's
Right.
a
Yep.
big number. But let's touch more on this. Yeah, the offense second half, they're like, oh well, we're still up. We're still up. You can't get big headed. I don't get why they did this. I thought the Rams would slap them in the face, and the loss of the Saints would have done the same thing. And then Washington football team, how many more times do you need this? Like, you don't need a loss to do this. You should let a close win kind of tell you that. But
Yeah.
I agree with that. But a lot of it, how much is it? Are people concerned of Brady's accuracy at some points? Sometimes he's dialed in perfect, and then sometimes, what the hell? I mean, I'm not saying the cliff, like we always kind of mention the cliff. It's not the cliff at all because he's still hitting and executing on all cylinders. But what is going on that sometimes people are wide open, he's underthrowing them? It's more of an underthrow. It's never an overthrow nowadays. The 2 to Gronk, he could have gotten flags on those, but he didn't. And then the 1 to Godwin was the most blatant one to me. I was like, what the hell is he doing? And then the Gronk, where he just throws it behind his back, were almost his worst throw he's ever seen by Brady. But are you alarmed at all by that? Or is anyone in the chat alarmed by that?
Yeah, I mean it's concerning. But again, when you look at the numbers, Brady's first and everything. It's it's hard to be too concerned. But yeah, it's definitely something to watch as we move forward. But then again, Brady could come out this week against New Orleans and be lights out, where he's super accurate and just puts everything on the money.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be a tired arm. I mean, I hope not. Obviously he's 44, so. But I still think I think he's still going to be fine. I mean, I'm not too concerned, but we'll just have to see how it plays out.
There's Robert Green outside leverage. There were lots of passes that Brady got saved on. I mean, but what's crazy is he can dial it in and throw a perfect pass, and then something like 3 or 4 during a game where I'm like, what in the hell is he doing? And I know I don't like the double out route they do. They've been doing this for years with Arians.
Yeah.
Like the Gronk pyramid or Gronk double out route. I don't like it.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
did that
South
multiple
Korea.
times. Yeah, multiple times yesterday, and it's not a very good play call. They need to get rid of that. If you're gonna do something like that, have one guy go towards the middle and one guy run an out route, not go in the same direction. I know they try to do that with the flood routes where they're trying to flood one side of the field, but you got to have some type of various of levels. These two guys are running the same depth, which I don't think is a very good concept.
Johnny Dean, I wouldn't go that far. Look at it like this. If Brady is so washed up and we're still winning now, replace him. I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying maybe Jim has a point with this tired arm thing. Start running the ball more. Maybe throw some easier dink and dunks or not 46, 47 passes a game. Right? And if they are, make them no, we just need to be more efficient with our throws, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because he shouldn't be relied on to do this every game.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. But I think we just need to get the running game going more involved. I've said that before. That's what we did in the playoffs last year. And you know how much more complimentary it is for that play action to work better if your running game's working. Plus, it has been working for a long time now.
Yeah.
Multiple games, just keep doing it.
No, it's working, but again, it's how you run it. It's the play call. It's the play design. You can't do the same run twice. You have to do, some type of variation where it's, you kind of has to be the right situation and the right defense you're going to. If it's a lighter box, then obviously, yes, it's a good time to run. Run out of shotgun, utilize passing on first down, run on second down, give yourself favorable situations as you go through the drive. But as far as Brady, I'm not too concerned. I think he'll be okay.
I also think in the playoffs he's going to zone in.
Yeah,
he won't even feel pain. I honestly think he's like that type of guy. Like he just doesn't he cares more about winning than his body.
Yeah, I think they'll get. I think they'll get his body right. And they've been doing a lot more. I think maintenance days with him, where they're giving him days off in practice. So I think he's gonna be fine. They'll rest his arm. They'll get it where it needs to be.
The better. Especially with these games coming up. He should not be asked to forcefully win any of these games. Especially, I want to say it too, the Saints game. Saints and Jets, come on.
Well, you got the Panthers the Panthers twice, and then you have the Jets. So you're hoping, Brady's out of the game by the fourth quarter, or at least with 5 minutes left, and we see a lot of Blaine Gabbert in the game. That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah. So let's keep going on. There was a couple more points in here. Yeah. 46 throws in a game. Maybe his arm is getting tired. Yeah, I agree with that. Where is this? Just more kind of comments and stuff like that. But here's one I don't agree with. For me, Brady has already proven himself, so it's up to everybody else to perform to his level. Yes, Brady's proven he doesn't have to prove anything else. But everyone's playing at a high level. How is everyone else supposed to make up for his inaccurate passes? Some of them are inaccurate. Some of them are picture perfect. No one could throw it better. But it's the quarterback's supposed to get the ball in the possession of the receiver. He's throwing inaccurate passes where it's not possible at sometimes. Is that a tired arm? Did the receiver run the wrong route? Maybe that's what you're thinking it is, but some of it are guys who are just getting open. He's just not hitting them. And I don't understand that part of it, considering how easy he can make some decisions and some throws. Like there were at least, maybe we'll put that in our film study, at least 4 throws that he made. I'm like, the hell are you doing? The guy's open. It's usually, last year was him just missing him. He didn't see it open. Now he sees it's open. He's just missing. So it's kind of scary in that sense.
Yeah. It'll get better. Again, my concern with the offense is just it's the sequencing. That's the biggest thing for this team. You're really not a team that wants to be in those 3rd and 8+ situations. So if the sequencing is good on first and second down, then this team should be fine. They should be able to move the chains at will and score touchdowns. It really comes down to the first down play calling is my biggest issue. There's still too many runs on first down when it doesn't need to be. So that just has to get fixed.
What was that stat you said? Like in the second half, we ran 9 plays?
Yeah. I think it was in the first half, they had 13 passes called on first down versus I think maybe 4 runs. And then the second half, it was 9 runs versus 4 passes on first down. So it's just stuff like that needs to be better. You need to continue to have that aggressive mindset on first down because you're setting yourself up for more success, because passing the ball on first down is just, that's the way you win in this league. You have to set up those second and shorts, third and manageables, because that's when you get those big plays. That's how you set it up.
Yeah, so I mean, there could be something to that tired arm, but if it's a short, quick pass, or if it's a tight end screen,
Mhm.
I've been saying a lot, that play always works. Always works. And then some of the timing of the plays that we're mentioning, it's not all on Brady. Yeah, maybe he has a little bit tired arm, but that's why some of these are inaccurate. But some of the play calls, like the timing of it, like the Leonard Fournette little dump, like screen, that was a
Mhm.
first down play, I think it was. Oh no, it was a second down play, because I remember it went from, I think it was 2nd and 17. Then Gronk got the
Mhm.
giant, like 16-yard gain, because he's a
Yeah.
freak. What was that play? It was like a screen. It was a design kind of screen to Gronk, and he just books it.
Mhm.
And the next play, we win the game. But that was a dumb call. Just a dumb call. Like, I don't know why you would do that.
Yeah.
Things like that you're shooting yourself. There weren't many penalties. I don't even see many penalties. So it's play calling and execution. It's the biggest thing. Like Brady said it himself. When we execute, we're pretty damn hard to beat. When we don't, the other team didn't have to do too much. It's sad. It's sad to
No.
say, but it's the God honest truth.
Yeah. No, it's yeah, and that's why we're, the biggest critic on the offense, because you look at the offense versus the defense. Defense is still shuffling personnel, it seems like weekly. Offense, you've had the same personnel for pretty much the whole season. So that's where, there's a little bit more leeway towards the defense and what they have to deal with. Obviously the front seven should be consistent as far as who you have, but you have one guy out there who has one arm, and you're trying to bring in other guys to sub for him and stuff like that. And then the secondary hasn't been together all year, so the communication of the secondary is still a work in progress, and they're starting to get that back a little bit. Obviously Carlton Davis, my God, it's so nice
Yeah.
to have him in the lineup, because I mean he shuts down people. He had a really good game yesterday, going up against Stephon Diggs, and pretty much held his own. So yeah, they needed him for sure. And obviously Jamel Dean, when he's in there, I think that makes a difference too. And Sean Murphy Bunting, I think, does a okay job for what he is.
Well, he showed up on some of those plays.
Yeah.
I mean, the 4th and 2, I guess he could have, or 4th and 3, where he could have ended the game there. I had a tweet ready to send. I was like, "Yo, defense wins the game for the Bucs instead of the offense." I was like,
Right.
"Shit, I delete it." I was like, "Okay, well, keep going on." He got close. I mean, then in that was his second game back from injury, second or third.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, I mean, they've been in and out so much. So that's why we have Richard Sherman playing safety, for goodness sakes. I mean, and he gets an interception, which is awesome, well deserved. So it's just, hopefully we can get everyone back here within the next couple of games and finally stay healthy and, see what they can finally be. When everyone puts together, Devin White looked like he was back to his normal self
Yeah.
yesterday.
Hell yeah.
So that was good, looking fast, and Levante David doing some good things.
I
But
want to add one more thing here to the offense, because a good point. Because I talked up Evans, but if someone wasn't in the chat earlier and you are now, Evans had an unbelievable toe drag catch near the end zone that saved Brady. Yes, he freaking did. I don't even know how Brady had some balls to throw this too.
Mhm.
Off of this bad boy in the air for like 10 seconds, it felt like. And then it falls right into Evans' hands, right at the sideline. Fantastic catch, awareness by Brady, Evans, everything about it was perfect. That's a play where that's not a tired arm. That's a guy who just knows where the hell to put it. And then Evans just making one hell of a play to make sure he gets 2 feet in. Like, Evans doesn't get anywhere near as much notoriety as he should,
Mhm.
not only by Tampa fans, but by national media itself. But I just wanted to touch one more on that, like how crazy of a play that was.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're just joining us, we're talking about the Bucs win yesterday. Again, it was a great win. They found a way to get it done. Offensively, it was just a tale of two halves. So we talked about the execution. It just has to be a little bit better play sequencing, accuracy with the football, and understanding situations and making the right plays. Defensively, I thought they had a really good game plan. They just got tired in the second half, but they made big stops when they had to, and that's what matters. As they helped the Bucs again, it was complimentary football. Overtime, you get that stop, and then the offense gets the ball. They end up scoring to win. So that's how it has to be, going forward. With that said, it's Real Bucs Talk. I'm your host, Michael Plus. Join as always, Mark Ramirez. We are live on Bucs Report. Also, check us out on the Pigskin Podcast Network if you just want to check out our audio. With that said, we do have a promotion, or not a promotion, but yeah, pretty much a promotion with DraftKings. That's one of our sponsors. Be sure to download their app. It's the DraftKings Sportsbook, and use the promo code TPPN. And if you just bet $1, you could win $100 in free money or use it for bets. So all you have to do is bet $1 on any team, and there it is. It's really cool, and be sure to check it out. It's all for new customers. So, sign up, use that promo code, and you can, potentially win a lot of money, which is always a good thing.
And it always helps support the channel. As Plus said, use the promo code TPPN right here. I pulled that up pretty damn fast. I was on Johnny on the spot right there. Brady would have been happy. So,
Right.
so DraftKings, code TPPN. Support Real Bucs Talk. Have fun on DraftKings. I mean, I know everyone knows what DraftKings is, and it's fun to use. Go ahead, have some fun, guys.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
welcome.
Yeah, and like Krillin says, hit that like button. We appreciate it. I think we already got like 10 likes here I'm seeing, so that's awesome. Just subscribe if you haven't. We got a lot of content coming out. Obviously we do our film studies, every week. We try to get those out to you as soon as we can. And then we have, our draft coverage is going to be starting up here very soon as we get into the new year. I'm working on a database of players, so hopefully we can get a lot more prospects out there for you guys. But again, the draft's way off. We're thinking Super Bowl. That's where we want to be at the end of this year, or into next year, I should say, February. But where do we want to go from here? Obviously, we talked about the offense, the defense. We want to touch a little bit on the Saints game coming up, or any other.
Real quick, well, I still want to go more into the defense because there are reasons why they scored 17 in one quarter too. It's not just the offense; the defense does a job too. But where is this? Right here, Speedy 1287. He has some good points here. He said if you criticize Brady, you got to hold the other guys to the same standard. He's kind of talking outside leverage, but where it is. Here it is. Brady would have looked a lot better if it wasn't for things outside of his control. Talking about AB dropped a touchdown. I guess he's talking earlier in the season. Evans dropped in the red zone. Again, all these are earlier in the season, but still. I'm talking this game, but I see the point he's trying to make as in guys need to convert. I mean, if you get the ball, try and get a couple more yards or block better or execute better. Gronk do better in blocking. Fournette, read the right freaking hole and run the right way. Little things. We don't need drops. We don't need tips in the air. Like, execution is huge. It's not just Brady throwing the ball to the receiver. The receiver has to run the right route. Offensive line has to block properly, and timing needs to be there. You can't be shuffling your feet and timing's drawn off, and now it's a sack. So it's not all on Brady. I know we criticize him because he's holding the ball, but a lot of it is a team game. 11 working as one. So I just wanted to kind of touch on that because he is right. I mean, it's easy to point the finger at one person when it's a whole team game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's we talk about it. It's all execution. 11 working as one. We say that quite often. But yeah, we're going to criticize everyone on the team. If we feel the need to, if someone's not doing what they're supposed to do, obviously we're going to bring it up. And yesterday it was a combination of missed throws by Brady. It was, you had some just, guys not, making the play. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. But yeah, going into the defense, I mentioned it earlier. I think a lot of it was they were trying to keep everything in front of them. Again, this is a defense that is going to give up yards. And they're trying to get that splash play, that turnover. They had the one yesterday, and then they also got the fourth down stop in the first half. So really they did get those 2 stops. And if the offense again could be that complementary piece, and you score before the half and you score in the second half to start the game or to start the second half, the game's different. You're probably up, at least 30-3, at that point. So, I
So-
mean, it just goes into, both sides complimenting each other. But defensively, I think the pass rush is the biggest thing that I noticed yesterday in the second half that just wasn't consistent enough. And obviously they gave up some runs as well. Buffalo did a good job of just sealing the edges and getting their guys in space.
So one thing, this is funny. So I just want to show this one clip. I have to, plus one clip of Brady and just Romo's commentary on the play. So if it gets like, what's it called? Copyright. Who the hell cares? Let's have fun. Listening to the commentary on this really quick. Let's talk about Brady's accuracy. Go ahead. Go ahead, Romo. Let us know what you think.
They're going to stick with what they do. You see how they just got up on the ball again? It's not going to be – they're not one of those teams. And Tom's not one of the quarterbacks who's like, okay, now we got to just do nothing but beat clock. And that was one of the worst throws I've seen Brady make.
Try to go back to Gronkowski.
One more time.
It's almost like the ball slipped out of his hands because he's wide open.
He's wide open. One of the worst throws I've ever seen Brady throw. So that kind of adds to our point, but it's – yeah, like I didn't get it. Didn't get what happened with Brady in that game, but more on the defensive side. Romeo the idiot.
There's a lot of good stuff in the chat here. So, a lot of people talking about the defense, and yeah, they were tired. Need better rotations to, keep guys fresh. I think especially up front. The secondary, again, I think it's just a lot of it's communication. Those guys just haven't been out there enough together this year. So guys being in the right spot, or it's just, other teams taking advantage of the matchups that they have. Anyone going up against Ross Cockrell, they're going to try to go after that guy. Even though he does do a good job, he does what he can. He's a good reserve. But those are matchups that they're going to try to pursue.
So a lot of people getting mad at the Romo thing. He's a commentator now. He's going to call it how he sees it. But defensively, first half, amazing. Second half, they kind of got away from some of the blitzing. BA kind of mentioned Jamel Dean going down as a reason why their secondary was a little off kilter. But it's next man up, D. Delaney, and they were attacking Ross Cockrell a lot.
Yeah.
Off the line immediately, Cole Beasley wide open. It's that is a weakness. We've mentioned that multiple times in this live stream podcast. So teams are just seeing that and they're attacking it. It's a weakness that they're gonna go after. But some of it, the containment was terrible. Like how many times did Josh Allen get outside or even blatantly go right up the middle? And once you start thinking that, then the running game started going. Singletary started getting big chunks. So
yeah, I mean, the one criticism I would say of Todd Bowles that I didn't understand is they stopped making him. You got to force Josh Allen go to his left, right? Because he's he wants to roll out to his right so he can throw the ball. So that was like my biggest thing. They didn't force him to go left enough where he would have to throw off his back shoulder or something like that. And they were doing that early where they were sending those blitzes from the right side, and they even did him in the second half, but the contain, like you said, wasn't good where they would let him get outside of that player that was free. We just, missed him way too many times.
But that's the thing. You got to.
But Josh Allen is a beast. Like that dude is superhuman.
He's bigger than most cornerbacks. So that's why I was like, why are they diving at him? You're not going to bring him down. You're going to run into him and fall. So some of these times I'm like, guys, wrap up and bring him down because he's just going to bounce off and keep going. But you got to know who you're playing. That's the personnel. You should have been coached up saying, no, there's a bigger guy. make sure if you get to him, bring him down to the ground, and it'll make him think later in the game. Like, I better get this damn ball out because they're going to run through me. And that's one area where I'm like, what happened with Sue and Vita Vea? I mean, a week coming off a week where they both had 2 sacks, you didn't really hear their name called much. And I know Vita Vea had 1 pass deflection, but they didn't really show up the entire game. I saw them the 1 possession in the overtime. They looked really good, but they were very quiet, and that was kind of awkward and weird considering how great they played the week prior. What'd you think?
Yeah, no, it was definitely strange, not seeing the impact from the interior linemen, like you said, Vita Vea and Dominican Sue. There was at times where they were pushing the pocket, but it just wasn't consistent. I'm not sure if it was, getting tired like we talked about, or they just didn't really win their battles up front, which was definitely strange. But you move on. You got the win. Obviously, going into New Orleans this week, facing a very good offensive line. So, yeah, and outside leverage says it too. I mean, yeah, it's hard to hit if they can scramble. So, I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're asking a hard task, but still, they manufactured great pressures. I mean, Carlton Davis was in on a blitz multiple times that Josh Allen just had to book it out. But that's where your team defense needs to work together and knowing, okay, if my corner's coming from this side, he's going to get flushed to the other side. I got to be able to man up over there, especially my defensive end. Don't let him keep escaping. So that's part of knowing what's happening on the field. If there's pressure coming on one side, I got to help coverage on the other. So that's team defense. That's not Brady's fault. It's not the offense's fault. You got to do your assignment. And
yeah, and that's the biggest thing with the defense that I see is just guys doing their job, doing what you're supposed to. If you're supposed to stay outside, you need to be there. So at times this defense, it seems like everyone's trying to make that big play instead of just focusing on what their job is and executing it. And it comes back to that word we say so many times, execution. It's something that has to be more consistent going forward. But like I said, with the defense, they've had so many guys go in and out. It's tough. So versus the offense that has been consistent as far as personnel goes, the execution should be higher and at a higher rate. And obviously it has been for the most part. Again, we're just critical at looking at everything in a microscope. This offense has been good. I mean, they're averaging at a high rate, 30 points a game, and 10-3 is still that's rare for Bucs fans. Like, we haven't had that, and it's awesome, and it should be celebrated.
Well, that brings me to the point. Yeah, we're winning, but you got to raise your standard. I mean, I know we were losing for 10 plus years.
Yeah,
but you got Brady. You have these astronomical weapons on the outside. You don't have any weakness on offense, to be honest. The only team that beats you is yourself. If you can get out of your own damn way, you're blowing teams out. And that's what we're trying to get to you guys. Like, everyone's fighting it. No. Brady's saying it himself. Like, we had easy shit that we had to complete and we didn't do it. And when we execute, no one can beat us. When we don't, it's easy for the other team to beat us. That's sad. That's very sad. So
yeah,
just hear what he's saying and kind of go with it. The best quarterback of all time is saying this. So he knows what he's got to fix. We say that multiple times. It's not just a purist of Brady. I'm real. There's things he does that insane. How fast he reads things, moves through the line, 4 reads gone. And then they had that thing. Like, he has 49 more throws than any other quarterback in under 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Insane. He just knows where the hell the ball needs to be. I love it. But it's more, some of these throws were key downs, didn't get it. And it's not just other players not catching the ball or running the wrong route. I mean, it's part of it. We gotta get to it. And Jim, to answer your question, yes, it's just this shit ain't gonna cut it in the playoffs. It just isn't. You can't give a great team that many opportunities because they will capitalize. And the Bucs are a great team. They just aren't capitalizing on their opportunities. In the second half. First half, That's why rinse and repeat. That's all.
No, I agree with you, and I'm fine with raising the standard as it should be. Obviously, with the talent that this team has accumulated, it should be Super Bowl or bust. That's the mindset, that's the mantra. That's how you should want your team to want to play at. You want to be in those big games, and yes, we've been you know bad for a very long time for most of our franchise history, but you're in a rare age where you have a great opportunity in front of you, and this window doesn't come often, and it's time to take advantage. And if, like we say, it's just simple little things. If they can get the little things right and execute what's in front of them, then they need to do so.
Yeah, it's and it's not like anything, but like I can't pronounce this at all. Topacio, Topacio. He said, "Well, receivers have to be quicker, turn around faster, and fight for the ball." To be honest, in this game, there weren't many times where they had to do that. Like they were open, they were running open. I mean, the one ball where they had to fight for a ball, Mike Evans came back for the ball. That was a right call. I know people were saying, "Oh, the penalties." Oh, that's a right call. The cornerback didn't turn his damn head around. Evans is going for the ball. It's fighting for the ball, like you just said. And that's a good flag. He was going for the ball. The other guy ran through him. Good ball, flag. We keep the sticks moving.
Right.
They were doing that in this game. I feel like it was just more a lack of execution of accurate passes,
Yeah. Ball placement.
ball
Yep.
placement, and then bad play call in certain situations. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to blame this one on. Can't remember really a receiver totally shitting the bed on a play. Do you
No,
remember?
I think guys were in position, like you said. It was just the ball placement was just maybe a little bit too underneath, or it was way out, a little bit too outside. It was just missing the mark, especially in the second half. Uh, but again, you go back to that first half, there were some just phenomenal passes by Tom. I mean, the Mike Evans touchdown, we touched on it earlier. That was a perfect play, like perfect execution. And like outside leverage says here, I mean, it still was a really good game against a very good defense in Buffalo, and we forget about that. Buffalo does have a good system, a very good, fundamental defense that doesn't really make a lot of mistakes. They make you earn a lot of yards. They make you drive the field and try to force you into mistakes. And in the second half, it worked where they just let the Bucs beat themselves pretty much. But yeah, I mean, that can't be lost at all. Good point, outside leverage. And and that's a good sign because we're going to face better defenses as we get, into the playoffs, and everything's going to be magnified as you get down here in the stretch. I want to say though, I appreciate Tom with the draft questions. I love it. As far as positions, I'll just say probably going to be, I would say, focused on the defense, especially defensive line and secondary. I think that's where they'll try to put their focus on. You look at the defensive tackle spot, we're going to need some guys there. And maybe corner, maybe outside linebacker again.
And depending on what Sue does, if he does
Right.
retire, I mean, you're going to need something behind Vita Vea. And at least I know Nacho, everyone thinks is immediately going to step in there. But you're losing, if Sue does retire, Sue McClendon probably is retiring too. I mean, Khalil Davis is no longer on the team. So behind Vita Vea, the stock is pretty low. So I really have been saying for a while they need to fix that area, and they haven't. So I'm hoping they do that. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Vita Vea, longtime partner. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to hear an early name, and he probably won't be there, but man, I would love Jordan Davis out of Georgia. Put that big boy next to Vita Vea, and let's go to work.
That'd be disgusting.
Yeah.
That's a lot of meat in the middle.
Yeah, it would be.
This is a heated Brady talk, I guess.
A lot of good points. I mean, Jim is definitely, saying a lot of good things here. It's true. He doesn't have the connection with the other players yet, like he does with Gronk.
Let's bring it up. Actually, it's a long comment, but let's bring it up. So Johnny D said, Mark, a lot of Brady's game is anticipation. A lot of those bad throws you talk about are bad throws, but a lot of those are due to his limited connection with the players. That's why Gronk is such a huge safety valve for him. We've seen the wide receivers get more comfortable each week with that, not worried about it that much, get healthy, win the games they need to do. The team will take care of itself. So, like you just said earlier, though.
That was Johnny. Oh, I'm sorry,
John-
Johnny. I called you Jim.
But I mean,
yeah.
to his point, though, you made it earlier. The offense has been healthy. Just about the only offensive weapon that's not healthy, AB, because he's either hurt or he's been suspended. Other than that, I mean, Gronk's back in the field, but we didn't really hurt without Gronk either. It's more execution. It's a lot of execution.
Mhm.
Evans and Godwin have been on the field the entire game.
Yeah.
Every week. So you can't say it's a miscommunication on that point. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, Gronk is huge physically and schematically for the team. But I mean, they are bad throws. That's all you gotta say. They are bad throws. Anticipation, yeah, but some of these throws were third, fourth reads. It wasn't in the first read. And that was a bad throw I just showed to Gronk.
Yeah, he's wide open.
And he missed Gronk 3 times.
Right.
2 deep passes and then that one. So I'm like, some of it I don't fully understand what's going on. Is it tired arm, like Jim says? Is it continuity, like Johnny's saying?
Yeah.
A lot of
I mean, you look at I mean it's just misplaced footballs. I mean, they're not hitting the mark, and that was the case in the second half. But you look at the touchdown winner to Brashad Perriman, who's only been on this team for a couple weeks now. So and that was the last read. Like, he wasn't even supposed to go to Brashad Perriman. He's supposed to go to Mike Evans. Yeah, and Brashad Perriman came open, and again, that was anticipation, like Johnny is saying here. He anticipated that Brashad was going to beat his man, threw it to the spot, it was in the perfect spot, and the rest is history. It's a touchdown. So I mean, and I do agree, it is a lot of anticipation, and maybe that's what he's talking about, where Gronk has that anticipation down pat because they've been together so long. But I think that's the thing where it should be at this time in the season. That shouldn't be an issue with, the other guys that you're throwing to.
And to say you're not worried about it, to me, this late in the season, I'm a little bit worried about it. I mean, I'll give the point of, yes, that was a better team. That was one of the best defenses, like Robert Green said, and outside leverage.
Mm.
That's probably one of the best defense we've faced. And we showed in the first half we can dominate teams like that. That is a huge plus.
Yeah.
You just got to keep your foot in the gas. And I think that's something, just keep the fire burning inside of yourself. Like,
yeah. And again, my biggest concern is it's not really Brady. Brady's a lesser concern of mine. I think the biggest concern for me is just Leftwich. It comes down to how these games are called. If the game is called correctly and how it should be, and how it's continuing to be sequenced right, then this team should be fine, because you're putting this offense in the best position where you have so many guys to go to, and like we're saying, and outside leverage is saying, Evans and Godwin is plenty. Not many teams have what we have to choose from, so you should be able to enforce your will and should be able to do what you can.
I'm not even going to beat a dead horse. It is what it is. The Bucs have amazing weapons. Don't complain about the weapons.
Right.
I just thought this was funny. Buccaneers' biggest concern is Aaron Rodgers' toe.
Yeah. Apparently he had a setback, so we'll see if he gets surgery.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, then tell me more about, since we're bringing up AB and everything. So BA talking about he may not come back, like based on the fake vaccine cards and everything. What
Right.
was the news on that?
I think they just talked about they're going to make a decision on it. I guess they haven't at this time. They're going to focus on it, after this Saints game.
Is this when they actually can come back or not?
Right. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they already got they did the time.
Yeah. I think it's just coach talk, Bruce just saying what he needs to say. I think they'll be back. Obviously Mike is going to be back. I don't think they would cut him and take the cap hit and all that. So
Yeah. Well,
I think they'll be here. They need those guys.
yeah, but any more? Because we're getting near the end right now. Any more questions in the chat? And then also, let's see, concerned about the referees. Do you guys talk about the no PI in the end zone? Which end zone one? I'm trying to think.
No, we didn't talk about the refs. Again, the refs are always going to have, they're saying the game, but there were so many plays for either side to win or lose that game. So the rest didn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, well, they called a good one, the Mike Evans one. So that,
Yeah.
Let's see, to be pinpointed in the first half. To be pinpointed in the first half and not so much in the second half, the explanation doesn't fly, Johnny. Well, I mean, I guess they're talking back and forth in the chat, but I agree. I mean, with that, I mean, you took your foot off the gas or play call just went to passive. Oh, let's just coast to a win. Or it was inaccuracy in execution. So, I mean, you can't, without seeing all 22, what they start doing? They just literally just start running the ball and not giving a shit anything? Or was it lack of execution? It's probably a combination of both. But we'll show you later in the week. But I definitely we're gonna put some of those bad passes.
Yeah, we'll get them together. But again, thank you guys, all of that joined us tonight. We much appreciate it. We appreciate all the comments, the questions, just the back and forth. It really makes the show go. And again, we're talking up here. We're just giving our opinions, what we think, and really just letting you guys know how we see it. And really, it starts with the basic concept of just execution. We're always going to preach that. So not trying to be too critical on one player. They all get the same criticism. Everyone's treated equally. So with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Go Bucs. Big game this week against the Saints. Can't wait. With that said, everyone have a great night. See you next time.
Go Bucs.